Welcome back to our channel. Today we have an exciting project for you. We will be showing you how to build a voltmeter using Arduino and display the voltage reading on the LCD display. It's a great way to learn about analog input, coding, and display interfacing. So let's get started. Here are the components you will need for this project, starting with Arduino port, breadboard, few jumper wire, of course voltage divider circuit, and in the end LCD display. First, let's wire up our circuit. Connect the Arduino 5V pin to the positive rail of the breadboard. Then connect the ground pin to negative rail. Now to your voltage divider circuit, connect one end of resistor as a positive probe and the other end of resistor as a ground probe, also connect to the ground and breadboard. Then connect the junction between two resistors to a wire that will go to an analog input pin on the Arduino, let's say A0. Finally, connect the LCD display to the Arduino. Refer to the schematic in the video description for the pin connection. Before we move on to the code, let's talk about voltage divider circuit and its role in our voltmeter project. A voltage divider circuit is a simple circuit that consists of two resistors connected in series. It's used to divide the voltage into a smaller value that can be measured by an analog input of Arduino. In our case, we connect the 5V power supply to the end of first resistor and the other end of the resistor to point on breadboard. Then we connect the other end of the second resistor to the same point on the breadboard and the other end to the ground rail. The voltage we want to measure is connected to the junction between two resistors. The voltage at this point will be fraction of the input voltage determined by the ratio of the two resistors. The formula to calculate the voltage across the second resistor is Vout equal Vn multiply R2 over R1 plus R2, where Vn is the input voltage and R1 and R2 are resistance value of two resistors, respectively. By connecting the junction between the resistor to analog input pin on the Arduino, we can measure this voltage and convert it back to its original value using the formula. It's important to choose the value of resistor carefully. The value should be such that the voltage at the junction doesn't excite the maximum voltage that can be measured by the Arduino analog input, which typically 5V. You can use ohm law and desired voltage range to calculate suitable resistor value. Now that we understand the voltage divider circuit, let's dive into the code and see how we can read and display the voltage on the LCD display. Let's move on to the code. Open the Arduino IDE and start new sketch. Now let's initialize the LCD display on the setup function. Use the LCD begin function to simplify the number of columns and number of rows in your display. Great. Now let's move on to the main loop. We'll use the analog read function to read the voltage value from our voltage divider circuit. Then we will convert the raw reading to voltage using a simple formula. Finally, we will display the voltage reading on the LCD display using LCD print function. And that's it for the code. Upload it to your Arduino board and you should see the voltage reading display on the LCD module. If you have any issue, double check your connection and code for any errors. So there you have it, a simple voltmeter using an Arduino. You can use this project to measure various voltage in your electronics experiments. Try experimenting with different resistors in your voltage divider circuit for a different voltage range. Before we proceed, let's clarify that this project is intended for education purpose only. It's a great way to learn about Arduino, voltage management, and interfacing with LCD display. However, it may not meet the requirement for commercial or professional use. When it comes to commercial application, there are several facts to consider, such as accuracy, precision, calibration, safety standard, and certification requirements for commercial or industrial grade voltmeters. Specialized components and designs are typically employed to meet these stringent standards. So while our DIY voltmeter product is a fantastic learning experience and it can provide a reasonable accurate voltage reading for hobbyist and educational purpose, it may not be suitable for critical or commercial applications that demand high precision and reliability. Always remember to consult professional grade equipment for commercial or critical application, as they have undergone rigorous testing and certification to ensure accuracy and safety. That's all for today's video. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you have any question or suggestion, feel free to leave them in the comment below. Thank you for watching and happy tinkering.